Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we will be getting a Q1 2024 update. But before I begin, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl, Juliette Celeste. Hopefully your favorite first generation Haitian American young woman living in Florida, particularly down south. I'm getting in the groove of redoing videos again, so bear with me if I'm not posting so frequently. My mental health comes first, and when days I'm feeling down and I don't have the energy to shoot, I don't force myself. So when I have the energy to shoot film, I will. And today's one of those days. Okay, I just wanted to give you guys an update on how I'm doing financially when it comes to my sinking funds. You will see some changes and I will explain them to you. So my Q1 ended from December 31st, 2023, and it ended March 31st, 2024. So from December to January is 1, January to February is 2, February to March is 3. So yeah, first quarter, let's get straight to it. So on December 31st, I went back and I looked at every single envelope / Excel sheet that I had, and these are my, ignore where it says beginning of the month, end of the month. I always track my funds from the last day of every month to the next last day of the month. So in other words, from December 31st to January 31st. I always look at the last day of the month because I get paid twice in the month, and it's always, how should I say, it's always going to make sense if I do from end of the month to the end of the month instead of from the first of the month to the first of the month, because all my bills are due sporadically throughout the month, and it wouldn't make sense. It would be too confusing. So let's take a look. From December 31st to January 31st, my emergency fund saw a difference of $280.41, which was positive. My regular savings saw a positive $100 difference. My 1 month ahead saw a $30 difference, as well as my move out. My utilities saw a $20 positive difference. My dermatologist saw a $180 positive difference. My mental health saw a positive $30. My dentist saw a positive $50. There was no change in my specialist fee. My sinking fund for myself saw a $20 positive change. There was a decrease in my vacation fund of $16.54 because I was finalizing some payments for a wedding / vacation I was taking in January of 2024. My new laptop got a positive $30. My car deductible, which was previously new vehicle, and I'm going to tell you why it went from new vehicle to car deductible, had a positive of $200. My car maintenance has a positive of $30, and there was no change in my car tag renewal and my car SunPass, and my taxation saw a spanking difference of a positive 189. So from December 31st to from December 31st of 2023 to January 31st of 2024, I went from having a grand spanking total of $11,288.07 to now $12,460.94. That means in a span of 1 month, I saw a positive difference of $1,172.87. If you are asking how, please look at my previous budget breakdown videos and you will see slow and steady wins the race, and the money eventually adds up. So that was just from December 31st to January 31st. We then move on of January 31st to February 29th of 2024. So all I did for the January 31st, I rerouted over here, and then this was the end with the last day of February 29th of this year. It was a leap year. So my emergency fund, we saw a positive change of $250. We then saw also a positive change of $40 in my regular savings, $20 in my 1 month ahead, $35 in my move out, $15 in my utilities, $20 in my moi sinking fund, $500 in my vacay sinking fund, a positive of $25 in my new laptop, Taxation saw $10 because from January to February, I was only working my primary job. I wasn't working my part-time job, so I was fine with that. Every paycheck at my regular job, I always take out $5 simply because when I do owe tax, it's not usually from my primary job. It's actually from my part-time job that is not pulling taxes. So I try always at maximum and minimum to pull out only $5. Now, if I feel like I don't want to pull out the $5, that's completely fine, but I don't feel bad if or when I decide not to put the $5 from my primary job. So that's why from January to February, you only saw a $10 difference, because every paycheck I got paid twice that month. So I only put $5 per paycheck. 5 times 2 is 10. My mental health had an additional positive of $25. Meanwhile, my specialist fee, simply because I have copay for medical, it saw a negative $52.13 difference. My dentist saw a positive $45. My dermatologist saw a negative difference of $124, while my new vehicle / car deductible saw a positive of $200. My car insurance saw no negative nor positive change. It stayed at $1,400. My car maintenance increased a positive $20, and then my car tag renewal as well as my car sun pass saw no difference. There was no adding or subtracting. It stayed the same because that was my goal. So I went from January 31st of 2024 from $12,460.94 to an increase of $14,889.81. So that means in a span of a month, I increased my overall sinking fund amount / balance by a spanking $2,428.87. Wow. And you know what the crazy part is? When I'm doing the cash budget breakdowns, I'm like, dang, I always feel like I'm not giving enough to the sinking funds until I do this. And I'm like, girl, you did that. And I hyped myself up a little bit and I'm so excited. But let's continue. So from February 29th to March 31st of this year, we are going to see, like I said, I carried February over. So I had $14,889.81. The difference that we saw in my emergency fund was a negative $1,217.63. That could have been more simply because in the month of February, like I said in my previous video, my car went bad. I ended up removing $4,000 from my emergency fund, and because I had an extra side hustle that I picked up in the previous year and I was saving the money on the side, I replenished some of the money that I lost. So instead of this being actually only $835, it was actually $3,617.44. My apologies. So I only lost technically a difference of $1,217.63. My regular savings saw an increase of $60. Please note, during the month of March, I got paid 3 times from my primary job, and I believe I got paid once or twice from my part-time job. So I may have seen a positive, but it wasn't that big of a positive because I was so worried about other expenses. So I saw a positive of $60 in my regular savings. I saw a positive difference of $40 in my 1 month ahead sinking fund. I saw a $25 positive in my move out, $20 in my utilities, $25 in moi. I saw a $290.61 positive in my vacay. I saw in my new laptop $25. My taxation received a great difference of $150. My mental health saw a good difference, a positive difference, I should say, of $30 in my mental health specialist fee. It went up just a little bit. I'm surprised it was a nice positive difference of $4 because I kept going back to the hospital but to see my specialist due to blood work and some issues. The dentist saw a positive $45. Dermatologist saw a negative difference of $39.52. And of course, By now you see where it used to say new car, it's now car deductible. Because I got the new car in February, I realized that God forbid if something were to happen to the car, I would need to pay off my $500 deductible in order to get the car fixed, possibly get a rental, and etc. So instead of taking the $860 that I had in this account and throwing it towards the first payment of the new car, I decided to keep the $860 and just keep it for my future car deductible if and when, God forbid, something happens. So there was no positive nor negative difference. And I also decided to keep the car insurance $1,400 that I saved just in case something else happens, because the car is still under 90 days old. So I still need to have that backup money. I did see a positive $25 difference in my car maintenance and then in my tag renewal, because I noticed I got a new car in August. I'm a Leo. And I share the same birthday as the late and great Whitney Nippy Houston, August 9th. If you're a Leo, post it down below. But yes, my car tag renewal, which was sitting at $70 for months, I decided to add $50 because in August I will have to renew 2 cars. My old car that I gave to my sister is still under my name. I just added her to my insurance because she's still a new driver, and of course the newer car that I recently purchased. So I want to be able to renew the tags for 2 years. I don't like the 1 year option simply because I feel like that's too much of a short notice to save up money. And I know some people be like, oh, $70 is not that much to save in a year. It is to me. So I rather save up and have 2 years, and then within the following 2 years, say for instance I renew it 2024. So from 2024 to 2026, I now know how much it's going to cost, and every month or every other month I can save up and figure out how much of my paycheck I'm going to put towards this, so I can have it beforehand. And then lastly, my car SunPass did not receive nor lose anything, so it stayed at $20. So at the end of March, let's go back. So at the end of February, I started at $14,889.81. After having to get a new car and spending money on health issues, I was still able to not lose too much money where it would negatively affect me mentally and physically. So I ended up closing March 31st with $14,422.27. In my head, I feel like if I didn't start that side hustle months in advance, instead of it being $14,422.27, it would have been $10,400, maybe $22.27. So I did see a positive difference of $467.52. Sorry, y'all. I had to pause it real quick. I was feeling a little nauseous. Okay, so we're back. So we see the difference. Now, this is just to show you guys the difference from December 31st to March 31st. Well, let's clarify, sorry. From December 31st of 2023 to March 31st of 2024, which is about 3 months. So from December to January is 1, January to February is 2, February to March is 3. Okay, so when we first started the emergency fund, you guys see it was at $4,304.66. At the end of the March, it dropped down to $3,617.44. So that means we saw a $687.22 difference. For the regular saving, we saw a positive change of $200. For 1 month ahead, we saw a positive change for $90, as well as another $90 of positive change in move out. For utilities, we saw a $55 positive change. For moi, we saw a $65 change, which is very, very great in 3 months. For vacay, we saw $774.07. New laptop, we saw a positive $80. Taxation, we saw a positive $349. Mental health, we saw $85. Specialist fee, we saw a decrease of $48.13. For dentists, we saw $140. For, let's see, dermatologists, we saw an increase of $16.48. For new vehicle turned car deductible, it turned up being an increase of $400. We didn't see a change in car insurance. It's still at $1,400, as well as car SunPass, which is still at $20. But we did see a positive increase of $75 at car maintenance, and then a positive increase of $50 at the car tag renewal. So December 31st of 2023, I ended 2023 with $11,288.07. As of March 31st, 2024, I have a great increase of $14,422.27. So that means in 3 months, I've been able to increase my sinking funds by $3,134.20. So that means if we take the 3,000, let me see if I can include the $3,134.20 and you divide it by 3, that means on average I was putting $1,044 and about 73 cents from my paycheck from my main job. Y'all, this does not include, I don't think a large percentage of this money comes from my part-time job, because my part-time job these past 3 months have mainly gone towards my student loans, any car payment, taxation. So the only thing out of this entire sinking fund that possibly had extra money, and it was a little bit, was my taxation. Everything else was from my primary job. So that means my primary job is able to sustain me to enough increase my sinking funds amount. A few things that I am changing, that I'm planning on doing after I realize this, like I said, I decided that I am going to combine all, sorry y'all for my background, my brother is home and he's decompressing outside with music. One thing I realized that I am going to do from here on out, instead of spreading out mental health specialist fee, dentist, dermatologist, I'm actually going to combine all of that into one health account. Where it used to say new vehicle is now going to be car deductible. And so I went from having, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 sinking funds to now, I'm going to show you the new one. So I went from having 18 to now having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15. I went from having 18 to 15 sinking funds. So as you guys see, I already pre-wrote it just for the end of April. So as you guys can see, I decreased it. And then one thing I'm thinking about doing, I don't know if I want to do it now or if I just leave all my money in one account. I would love to see if I can create a vehicle high yield savings account and see if that's worth it. But at the same time, I do know you do have to report any interest that you've accumulated at the end of the year to IRS. So depending on the amount of money that is accrued in the large high yield saving account that I have with everything combined together, is going to determine if I should do a separate high yield saving for my car or just keep it in all one big one. But you guys, as of March 31st, I have $14,422.27. I can't wait to show you guys what I end up doing. Let's see, from March to April, April to May, May to June. I can't wait to see the difference by June. I'm hoping that I keep this great momentum going and I'm able to put maybe 3,000 to 4,000, so that way I will be at 17,000. So that means by the end of the year, I may have doubled what I initially started the year with. Oh my God, I'm excited. So yes, that is my update about my Q1 funds. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any tips, tricks, and or suggestions on how to generate more income, you're more than welcome to post it down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.